Hey, welcome to JenGardens. Today is Wednesday, March 25th, and I'm going to give you an update on how things are going in my garden. We're going to be taking a look at the roses, the butterfly bush, the radishes, as well as the snow peas, and take a look at some other things that have been starting to pop up in my garden. Come on, let's take a look. Here we have the front garden bed that I started off with back in early February. And if you recall, I really cut back the roses and they have really started coming back quite well and bushing up. You see here, they started, anything that's in red, that is brand new growth. That is 6 weeks worth of growth.
I'm going to really need to watch the growth of cross branches and prune those back again. We want there to be great airflow to help the plant stay healthy. The second and third bush look like they're just as healthy. We're going to watch their growth to make sure they don't overcrowd the azaleas, which should be budding any time now. Let's go take a look at the canna lilies. I removed all the dead leaves and debris last weekend. Now I see their little tiny shoots starting. Or these could be weeds. Let's see what happens in the next few weeks. Next to the canna lilies, we have what I think is golden euonymus. Here's the butterfly bush that I gave a severe haircut to a couple weeks ago. You can see all the energy has now been pushed into leaf and branch development. In a month, this will have grown a foot or more. Along this side of the house is my pollinator garden that I'll wait another week or two before I cut everything back. While it's warm today, we want those native pollinators to have a chance to emerge before we clear out this bed. And in the back there is lavender plant, which is looking really scraggly and it definitely needs a good haircut. This Camellia is about 4 years old and I have never pruned it, so it's shot straight up, so it's past the first level of the house. This hydrangea is at least 30 years old. One year I pruned it at the wrong time and I didn't have flowers for 2 years, so now I'm really hesitant to cut it. What I did last year is I waited until it leafed out before I cut the dead flowers off. Looks like buds are starting to form, so it's probably okay to cut it. We'll see. Across from the hydrangea is the first bed.
So here we have our onions that are coming up. These were the volunteer onions that came up that I couldn't figure out whether they were onions or garlic, but they are definitely onions. And they might have some friends coming up as well. So we'll see what happens with those. These are kind of exciting. Over here, we've got some more daffodils that are still coming up and getting ready to pop open, as well as some daffodils that have already died back. So in the bed next to the onions and the daffodils, we do have some garlic that is coming up next to the oregano. If you can tell here, the oregano is doing really well. These are, see, it's coming up through the old dry branches. It's even coming up here teeny tiny. Oregano is really much a garden thug, so you need to kind of watch that. And
here we have the radishes that I planted a few weeks ago. We had a huge fluctuation in weather, and we went from 80 degrees and sunny to 35 and snowing in less than 24 hours. These really had a hard time after that. I'm definitely going to get something out of these, but not as much as anticipated.
The success story are the peas that are there along the railing, and of course have some daffodils. Do pretty well with those. I probably should put some more in, so I've got progression planting. Over here we have asparagus. Look, I'm so excited. See, this is an asparagus. Very exciting. I could probably harvest that little puppy. And there are a couple more coming in. Some weeds in there, but we'll be all right. Over here, we have another asparagus plant. So what we have here is definitely horseradish. The reason I know it's horseradish is because I actually planted some horseradish roots here last year, and they took over the bed, did not realize how much they grow, how well they grow. And from what I understand, you might be able to eat some of the horseradish leaves when they're this young and tender. What you really want is the root. So I tried to pull up a bunch of the roots at the end, basically in the fall, because it just got too overwhelming in this bed. But apparently I didn't get them all. It is what it is. I probably will let these grow a little bit. You don't belong there. And so, yeah, so we'll see how much I let those go. Apparently my garlic just had a fantastic time and has come back. I think this is more horseradish. Last year I had chamomile in this bed, so it may come back, but I'm not seeing any evidence of it yet. Even if it doesn't come back, I'm going to put some more chamomile in here. I will also this year I will put some tomatoes here because I didn't last year. I had tomatoes over there, so I'm trying to rotate the crops around. You see here how I have this rosemary bush. It really looks dead to me, but when I snap a branch off and go into it, it's still green inside. Yeah, snap it. Well, maybe not. Well, that kind of looks dead. Let's see here. I don't know if you can see this. See, these things just break off really well. You know, I think I'm going to have to pull this out. It's just really struggling in this spot. So, all right, decision made. That's coming out. And over here is where I transplanted the garlic that was next to the asparagus. I've cleaned out this bed completely. Well, I still have to pull some of the weeds out, but that bed's been cleared out. That bed's been cleared out. Over here, I need to do some serious weed whacking on the pavements. You wouldn't know there's pavements there, but there are. You see how it needs soil? So I'm going to go ahead and add some compost and pick up some black cow. And I think I'll put carrots and beets there. And on this side, we have a lavender plant. My pollinators love it. And so this bed, the weeds have come back to say hi. This also needs some more soil. And here, so there's the asparagus over there and the horseradish. Here's another lavender plant. I need to give it a haircut. All this was last year's blooms that I didn't trim off at the end. That's going to be easy peasy to take care of. Shape it up a little bit. Got some more garlic there. Here's another rosemary bush. See here, I have a volunteer onion. Again, I know it's an onion because when I play with the leaf and you roll it in your fingers, you can feel that it is clearly tubular inside. And nope, still don't have smell back. And I suppose it smells really oniony. I still can't smell onions yet. Over here, have another onion. It's very tubular. And here, this is rosemary. This rosemary bush is looking really sad. It is probably 3 or 4 years old. It has lots of leggy dead wood. There are places here where it's still green, but I have an entire branch here. So this weekend, we're going to go ahead and whack that back pretty well. See here, see how it's how it needs to be trimmed back. It's got, oh my goodness, look, there's a flower. So some of this plant is doing very well. It's already starting to flower. So the pollinators will like that. But I think this part of the bush back here is going to have to get trimmed back. And in fact, I'm looking at it down here at the roots. It's 2 plants. So we'll see how much of this second plant is going to survive. Over here, I believe that is lemon balm right there. And some more daffodils. And this is another lavender bush. I used to have a lavender bush there, but I had to take it out. It was completely dead. I can only get my lavender to grow for about 5 or 6 years. This one is starting to look kind of scraggly as well. I'm going to have to whack that back some, but it still has some life. I'm thinking we'll see if it survives till next year, but it will definitely survive this year. And over there is my sad, sad strawberry patch. Let's go take a look. Okay, so here we go. Gotta do some weed whacking again. There's brick underneath that, not that you could tell right now. So this is my sad, sad strawberry patch. It gets green leaves and it spreads that I've managed to keep it out of that bed. And no, it's moving over there. But I get about 3 strawberries and then the squirrel takes a bite out of each one. So I really don't get any strawberries. So I'm going to pull this out this year. I'm going to probably replace the wood in this bed. See how it's kind of rotting? I'm going to replace it with castle bricks. That'll be another video, how I replace this bed. So I'm going to pull things out, replace the bed, and put more dirt, mulch in and compost. Over here, we have more daffodils. This is where, right here, that was crocus. 2 of them flowered. But look, a whole lot of garlic. I'm going to pull some of those garlic pieces out. I will put the garlic around my tomatoes when I put those in. And in this bed, I think I'm going to put the ginger. And I probably am going to replace this bed as well. Last but not least, up here, that is lemongrass. I'm going to give that a cut. Let's see if it has any new growth underneath. It still feels pretty crunchy. But deep inside, it feels like there's life in there. So I'm going to give this a trim back this weekend. I'm going to trim it down, and hopefully it will do the same thing as the the Canna lilies, and really, really spring back. Over here in the side yard, this is, I would really truly call it partially shade. Right now it's got a lot of direct sunlight because the tree has not put its leaves out yet. Of course, we've got all of the pollen and stuff generators, but this truly does get a lot of shade. And so this is a 2nd-year hydrangea, and here we have some daffodils. At one point I had put some lantana here, but I got the wrong variety. I got the annuals rather than the perennials. It died back and I never replaced it, so I have a spot right here that would be perfect for a lantana or a hosta. I'm not sure what I'm going to put there, so maybe a hosta. I don't know. We'll see. So continuing up to the side by the fireplace, we have another encore azalea and some more daffodils that never bloom. It looks, well, they never budded, but it looks like something has come in and eaten the tops off all of them. I hope it's not the 4-letter word deer. I typically don't have any issues with those. We'll see. Oh, and something, I don't know if you can really see this, but my yard is covered in these beautiful little blue flowers and purple flowers right now. The front yard was influenced by the next door neighbor's Kim lawn, so there's hardly any wild stuff out here. See, I know there's patches of brown. I could care less. I'm going to throw in those patches of brown. I'm actually going to throw out some more clover or some alyssiums and some other stuff, so we can have more of a. There is clover right here, but we're going to eventually get rid of all the grass. So here we are on the back again. We've got the garden here, but do you see all of this? All of this? That are little teeny tiny purple flowers. The bees love it. And they are, much to the chagrin of my neighbor, they are filled with dandelions. The bees love my yard. I love the bees. Yes, I'll eventually have to mow, and it probably happened this weekend. But in my house, we do not mow until the trees bloom. But this is absolutely beautiful. Let's go take a look at the pear tree. Okay, so this is the area behind my garage. Yes, that is a fire pit that desperately needs to be cleaned out. We'll get to it eventually. And underneath the kayak, last year was a rabbit's den. I suspect they probably will be back again. But here is the pear tree that I thought was a plum tree, but that's a whole nother story. But you see how it's flowering. This is not a Bradford pear. This is a real pear tree. I'm told that it smells wonderful this year. Again, still don't have my smell back, but that's okay. See how pretty these flowers are? And we already have pollinators, and it's happy. Now, something I am noticing, these vertical straight up branches that I didn't prune this year, there aren't a lot of flowers on them. Not yet, at least. Oh, there's a few. Okay, maybe I don't need to worry. That's really, really tall. Okay. We got some flowers way up there. So maybe those will be the pears that the birds get, and I'll get the pears down here. So we'll see. And I need to fix the base, do some weed whacking. I really hate weed whacking, but I have to do it, I guess. So there you have it. That's the current state of my garden. I have a lot of work that I need to do, but it's really fun getting my hands in the dirt and making things grow, or helping things grow, I should say. I hope you can join me for this journey this year. I'd love to hear what you have going on in your garden. Put it in the comments below. Give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Check out some of my other videos. Thank you so much, and happy gardening.